Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of People from Cleveland Are Dope. I am Erica Jones Miller, and today I'm speaking with Autumn Chisholm, who is a Cleveland native. Autumn is the co host of the Phil and Lil Podcast, and she specializes in popular culture, film, and TV studies. And though she claims to be a knower of completely useless knowledge, her words, not mine, I have invited her to speak to us about all of the great things that are happening in Cleveland this summer. Because I believe you will find this information useful. And this should be a lot of fun. So, Autumn, thanks for joining me and welcome.
Oh, it's no problem. I mean, you've known me my entire life, even in gestation.
True, true. Just to know, Autumn is my best friend's daughter. So she calls me Auntie Erica. So
Yes, I
you
do.
may hear that. Don't
Yes, you may hear that several times.
full disclosure. And she is very enthusiastic about Cleveland. So I immediately thought of her when I wanted to talk about or have someone talk about the things that are going on in Cleveland. So the last time we spoke in person when I visited, I think it was August, she said, Auntie, there's a lot of great things going on in Cleveland. You just don't know. It's changed. And you should really see what's going on and see what's happening. So here she is to talk to us about some of that. So
Yeah, I
Autumn,
gave you a full guide.
yes, yes. So here we are with Autumn's Guide to Cleveland for the
Yes,
summer.
yes.
So, as with everyone that I interview, I like to get some of your background. So, tell us about what neighborhood you grew up in Cleveland, in Cleveland, Autumn.
Yes. So, I grew up in two neighborhoods technically. So, my grandma lived in Maple Heights, and I spent like a ton of time at her house. And then we lived in Garfield Heights, and Garfield and Maple are very close, like extremely close. So, I in Maple, I went to Rockside Elementary for 6 years, or 5 years, 5 years, yeah. And then for fifth grade, all the way up until I graduated, I went to Garfield Heights. So I'm a suburban girl, but I was
Oh,
born in Cleveland. The
okay.
hospital I was born at is now a parking garage, but it's still in Cleveland.
Wait, which hospital were you born in?
Mount Sinai.
Oh, me too.
See?
Yep,
Again, yep.
it's no more.
Yep, they do have a foundation. If I on my way to work sometimes I see the building that says the Mount Sinai Foundation. I'm like, okay, at least they have that as a
Oh,
reference
wow.
that there was a hospital.
Okay. All right. And so then after high school, what did you do?
So after high school, I went to Bowling Green State University, which is in Bowling Green, Ohio, which is about 2 hours away from here, hour 45 if you drive fast enough.
Eh,
Spent 4.5 years there, came back here, and then I ended up going to Ohio Media School, which is in Valley View, Ohio, which is like a smaller town where we have a lot of stuff. But I went there for about 9 months, graduated, and I kind of just have been doing my thing since.
okay. So that means you have an interest in broadcast and media.
Yeah, that interest started when I was 13. My mom, we so in Cleveland, our sports teams, you can buy packages, like jobs here can buy packages. And so my mom got tickets from her job. She won them, and she had won them several times, and I was never interested, but we just decided to go this one day. I don't know why we did, but we did. It was my first ever baseball game, and I fell in love with the sport. And then I spent an entire summer just consuming sports media and broadcasting, and I fell in love with the craft.
Oh, okay. All right. So then you decided to go to school for it.
Yeah, I was a journalism major for my freshman year, decided wasn't for me. Um, but then I switched over communications, and while I was doing communications, I got involved in our school's acting program. So I became an acting and directing major. So know how to act and direct. And then a part of our curriculum, we had to take several like humanities classes, like fun classes, and one of them was a popular culture class. And then I was like, and then somebody said, "Oh, you can actually major in it," and I'm like, I don't think I could major in it, but I'll take it on as a minor. So I studied popular culture, and then in our school we had to have a support field, and I'd taken a large number of film classes, so I also studied film as well.
What was the
So
major
everybody,
difference? I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was about to say, so everybody hates watching anything with me.
You critique everything and you,
Yes,
you break it down.
yes, they all hate watching stuff with me.
What was the major difference between journalism and communications?
Well, with journalism, it was more the traditional route. It was more of the learning about how to write and not really getting into the broadcasting side, not really getting into the nitty gritty. And I love to write, but it was at a point where it just didn't interest me, and what I thought it was going to be wasn't what it was. And then when I switched to communications, I figured, I was like, oh, so this is what I thought the journalism was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So tell me what you did after you went to broadcast school.
So while I was in broadcast school, I became friends with a number of people who are actually in the broadcasting industry, and I knew I wanted to start my own podcast, but it took some time to get off the floor because we had a global pandemic that just kind of shut everything down. So all my plans were shuttered until, I'm gonna say early last year, early 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and my brother were going to see AEW, and me and my brother are very interested in comics. We go see all the movies together. We both watch all the comic book TV shows and everything. And we were talking, and we just kind of realized, like, hey, we can bottle this up and people can listen to us. And so we came up with the concept that January, and then we worked on it for a few months and started our own podcast.
That's wonderful. So, what are some of the topics that you've covered on the Phil and Lil podcast?
We've covered popular topics like last year it was like Miss Marvel and the boys. We covered Comic-Con. We covered both Marvel and DC because those are popular topics. We covered wrestling, and we are on hiatus right now, but we started to cover the cultural impact of different films, specifically superhero films. So we have an episode out about Wonder Woman and the first Black Panther. So you guys can go listen to those.
Okay. So, what's the last movie you've seen?
Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
I haven't seen it yet. What did you think?
I loved it. I cried several times throughout the
Oh,
movie. It was fantastic, but I was crying, and I said, it's one of those movies where kind of like Wakanda Forever, where you
oh,
watch it once and you're good. You can watch it once and you're good.
okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that one too because
Just
I
be prepared
okay.
with those
Well,
tissues.
I'm a fan of the Marvel movies, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I want to see how they wrap that one up because supposedly that's the last one, right? Of the Guardian.
It's well, it's the last one of that particular Guardians team.
Okay. Okay. And compared to the Ant-Man, did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw Ant-Man.
It,
I didn't think it was as bad as people said it was.
yeah, I didn't think that one was bad at all. I
I
okay.
thought it was what it was supposed to give. But this one knocks that one out of the water.
Okay. All right. Even more reason for me to see it. Okay, good. I take your recommendation to heart. Okay. So tell us about what is going on in Cleveland for anybody who is living in Cleveland or anybody who's going to be visiting Cleveland this summer. What can they look forward to?
Yeah, they can actually look forward to a lot. Cleveland in the summertime is completely different than Cleveland in the wintertime. Cleveland in the summertime thrives like nobody's business. So we have a number of concerts coming up, of course. We just had Blink 182 here last week. We have Paramore coming up. We have Logic coming. We have TLC coming this summer as well, Alicia Keys, and then we have the 50th anniversary hip hop tour coming as well. So if you want to see a concert, you can come see it in Cleveland. And they're all pretty much at the same place. Blossom Music Center, which is about, I'm going to say half an hour outside of Cleveland, which is in Akron. And then Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, aka the Q, aka Gund. It's had like 7 names. It's had like 7 names. But most of the concerts are going to be in one of those two places. Um, Attractions. Unless you like art, if you like art, our museums are very well renowned, especially our Museum of Modern Art. It's called the MoCA. It's always something going on there. And then at our Museum of Art, once a month, they have like a big party at night, and people from all around the city come and they drink and they dance, and it's just a fun time overall. Of course, you can come see a baseball game. Our Guardians are in the midst of the season.
Put that in the
The
last time we were
cat,
there.
yeah, and now they've added more stuff. So we have Pride Night coming up in a couple weeks. There's always a $1 hot dog night. That's always popular. And we also have fireworks coming up in the summer. They do a big fireworks spectacle the middle of July, usually
Mhm.
around the middle or the end of July, and it's for 2 nights. And so we can always come see a Guardians game. That's for sure.
Mhm. And not pay a fortune to do so either.
No, and tickets have actually gone down. Sometimes they'll offer like $8 tickets for a package. The cheapest ticket you're gonna get is about 12 to $14. So it's not gonna break the bank.
Right. Right. And it's fun for the whole family. Yeah. And no seat is a bad seat. So
Nope, not in a baseball stadium.
yeah, it's a fun time.
Um, well, if you're looking to see a play, we have the second biggest theater district in the country behind Broadway. So right now we have Tina the Musical, which is the Tina Turner biography musical. My mom actually went to go see it a couple of weeks ago and she said it was really good. We have Dear Evan Hansen. A couple of months ago we had Beetlejuice the Musical. So as things come along, it gets announced, but that's pretty busy during the summer. And then we have our very famous Great Lakes Science Center. We have a theater that's bigger than an IMAX theater. It's called the OmniMax. And if you have motion sickness, do not go to this theater. Like as a child, it was my favorite place to go, but as an adult, nope, it throw you off.
Oh,
But our
wow.
science center is very cool. Right around there, we have the aquarium, which is now in the flats. It's actually located in a place called Windows on the River.
Hmm.
So we have that. And then, of course, the zoo. We have a booming zoo. And our zoo is actually run by our Metroparks. So it's not inhumane. It's very humane. You'll go have a good time. They have different deals. I actually used to work there, so they have different late night events. Like later in the summer, they'll have something called Twilight at the Zoo, which they have vendors come in from around the city, and you get to come into the zoo after it closes and just walk around and see the pretty lights and things of that nature. And the last couple summers, we've had the Asian Lantern Festival come here and had different attractions like that too.
That's always been one of my favorite parks, the Cleveland Zoo. It's one of the best zoos I've ever been to.
Yeah. And people don't even like know it exists sometimes. And it's very big.
Hmm.
I learned
It
that
is.
like it's humongous.
It's
And we have a
huge.
rainforest too. A lot of people don't even go into the rainforest.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the rainforest is a beautiful building as well. A lot of people actually get married there now. They'll
Oh,
have
wow.
their weddings. Yeah. They'll have the receptions. They'll have birthday parties. Yeah, it's come a long way.
Hmm. Okay, that's another option for a venue for an event.
Oh
That's
yeah.
hmm,
Now, one of the things about Cleveland is that people love to drink here.
sure.
And that there's a bar on every corner in Cleveland.
Well, yeah.
But lately they actually have been like opening really interesting bars. Well, we've had a bar open called 16-bit. It's been open now for I think about 10 years here.
Hmm, okay.
Almost 10 years. They moved from their Lakewood location to West 25th. It's much bigger. Is also with Penn's Mechanical Company. So it's like a mini bowling alley. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. It's free games. All you have to do is drink. The drinks are always fantastic. You can bring your own food, and I've been there too many times. We've had a lot of birthdays there.
That sounds like a good time.
Oh, it is. It is a guaranteed good time during the day. If you go, you can bring your kids, but after a certain time of night, it's 21 and over. But
Oh,
it's a good time.
all right.
We have Funhouse Bar, which is a creepy carnival bar, but it's super popular. It's in Lakewood. We
A
have
carnival
the
bar,
Ivy.
do they dress up in costume?
I They really don't, but like it's called the Funhouse Bar.
Okay.
You walk in and it's like a fun house. There's like old school clowns.
Oh.
Like you know how the carnival tent looks, like the red
Hmm.
and white stripes, you have that. And it's very, very popular. Like extremely popular.
That sounds cool.
It is along with the Haunted House, which is a horror themed bar and restaurant.
Uh-huh. My last guess is part owner of that.
Yeah, I bet you he told you how nobody could get a reservation there for like 6 months.
So good, good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and that one's in Cleveland Heights. And it's in the middle of the city, and it's in a place that you wouldn't ever think it is. But when you walk in, if you're a horror fan, go to that bar.
Oh, I can't wait to visit that one. They're opening one in Atlanta too. So
Oh, oh, it's gonna be great. Um, we do have our cherished West Six slash West Ninth. If you are a person of millennial age, you have thrown up somewhere on
ah,
this street. Someone who has. Uh,
oh.
there are several establishments. We have Velvet Dog. Velvet Dog has been there for a while. It's a bar and club. They have a rooftop. It's pretty popular. We have the Ivy, which used to be liquid. And it's very cool in there. My brother actually is security there, so say hi if you ever go see him.
Okay.
We have Barley House, which is owned by the George family, and that's just immensely popular. And then we have Rumor Nightclub, and that's the club where if you want to see your favorite rapper in Cleveland, go to Rumor.
Okay. All right. Okay, well,
Uh,
I mean, when I used to go to clubs, it was Bells on the Circle and Mirage on the Water. That was a long and
what about?
Splash.
Oh,
Ooh,
say
that was a long time ago. Ooh. Anyway,
I think the
dating myself.
Mirage. I think the Mirage building is still there. Splash became something else. Veils, I think it's still there. Pretty sure.
Is it really?
I think so.
Oh, oh
I
my
have to ask
goodness.
my mom. Um, but speaking of Mirage on the Water, there's now a bunch of bars in the flats. We have the Music Box Supper Club, which is kind of like a dueling piano bar. It's pretty
Oh, I
fun. They
love
have
those.
It's very fun. People go there usually for brunch. It's really fun. We of course have Margaritaville. Jimmy Buffett opened his restaurant here a few years ago. But about 6 years ago, we finally got an indoor outdoor club called
Right.
Forward Nightclub. Yep.
Okay.
And if you want to feel like you're Miami, but you're in Cleveland, go to Forward.
Okay. I
And yeah,
just
it's
went to
open.
one of those in Vegas not too long ago, indoor, outdoor.
Which one
Uh,
was it?
Drays.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dreas but small,
Okay.
like much smaller. During the day they have a pool, it's open. They'll have like a little party, and then at night it's a full blown nightclub. The last few years we've had Lil Jon, had DJ Pauly D play there. If you're a popular DJ, you played there.
Okay.
And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Good.
Come prepared.
All right.
And then a country artist by the name of Chase Rice, him and a former Cleveland Guardian by the name of Jason Kipnis, along with the same hospitality group that owns Forward Nightclub. They opened a bar last year called The Farm, and it's a country themed bar. And it's very popular.
Okay.
So if you like country music and you want good drinks and you want to feel like you're in Nashville, go to The Farm.
I like all of these options that Cleveland has.
Oh yeah, and then we even have a 70s theme bar.
I dig that.
It's called Goodnight John Boy. So it used to be the club Magnolia. So Magnolia was a secret speakeasy club.
Mm-hmm.
It like the facade was a donut shop, and then you went through a special set of doors and it was a nightclub. And
I love
so
that.
they took Magnolia away a couple years ago, and then they reopened it as Goodnight John Boy, which is a 70s themed club.
Okay. Very cool.
Oh yeah. If you want to go out at night, we got a lot of stuff going on at night.
Okay. You just have to know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
So it's good to have an ambassador like yourself to let people know what's happening.
Yeah, because a lot of people come into town and they don't really know what to do, and they
Mm-hmm.
kind of go off what's on the internet, and they're like, well, I don't want to go to the aquarium, but I don't want to go to the zoo, or I don't want to go to the Christmas Story house because that's the one that every website
Mm-hmm.
recommends,
Right,
is going
right.
to the house from a Christmas Story. And all you got to do is just kind of look out there. There's a lot going on in Cleveland. We actually have a music festival too. It used to be called Laurel Live, but they switched it over. It's now called Wonderstruck. And we have Nelly coming. He always comes to this festival for some reason. Don't know why. Always does. um it's like him and like several other people. But that's like we have like stuff going on constantly in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, well, it sounds like there's something for just about everybody. Is there
Yeah.
anything jazz related coming? I know a lot of people like jazz music.
Um, honestly, we not really. Like that's the one thing I've been craving for. I'm like, somebody needs to open like a jazz club, like an old school
Mm-hmm.
jazz club, but nobody's
Oh,
done that.
we used to have the boarding house in University Circle when I was there. Um,
Ooh,
and they used to have
I
really nice jazz music. So
I think that's
hello,
still
somebody
open.
in Cleveland, fill the void.
Yes, fill the void. Give us a jazz club. Um, we do have a social club now.
Okay,
It's in Shaker Heights. If
membership.
you Yeah, it's called the 1899 Social Club, and it's got a golf simulator, it's got drinks, it's got whatever you can think of. And it's in the Van Aken Plaza,
Okay.
which they have completely revamped.
Yes, I noticed that. That's completely different.
Completely different, completely revamped. They're adding more every single time I go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single time.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. All right. Is there anything else on your list? Did you cover everything?
Yes. Yes, there is one more subject, and that is the
Okay,
thing
come
we are
on with
known
it.
for the most.
All
It
right.
is the food.
All right. Let's
You
hit
know, we
it.
got, yes. So we have Shake It, which is owned by the people who made Goodnight John Boy and Forward Nightclub. It's a burger place.
All right.
Um, we have 27 Club, which is owned by rapper MGK. It's kind of like a coffee shop slash cocktail bar slash brunch place. It's always got something going on. We have the wine tasting bar, which is a it's a go at your own pace wine tasting bar. Like if you ever gone to a brewery and you kind of like hit the tap, we have one of those, but for wine.
Okay.
We have a new restaurant. Well, it's not really new, but it's building off of a legacy restaurant called Geraci's here. So it's called Geraci's Slice Shop. It's where Vincenzo's used to be downtown. They closed a couple years ago, and so Geraci's took it over. And so they have an old school pizza slice shop where you come in and it literally looks like you've been transported to the 80s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like everything is old school. They have a tabletop Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, cool.
They somehow found all the old Pizza Hut like overhead lighting things. Like it's really cool. And they actually just opened Friday.
Oh,
They had
okay.
their grand opening on Friday. So yeah, so that's the place where everybody's gonna be at this summer.
Great.
Now, if you're looking for some nice options, we have Rose Red Grill that's in Strongsville. I actually just took my mom there for Mother's Day. That is special Mother's Day menu. It's very affordable, but very good. We have the Last Page, which is in a shopping center called Pinecrest, which did not exist, but magically exists now. It was literally a field, but now it's a shopping center. There's also a place on West 25th called Jaja, and they have shareables, and it's kind of like a Mediterranean feel.
Mm.
And we have a big brunch place. It used to be called the 100th Bomb Group. It was right by the airport, but now
I
it's called the
remember that.
Aviator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they rebranded to the Aviator, and it's got all you can eat brunch and different events that you can go to. It's actually where my brother's getting married at next year.
Hey,
So
all right.
yeah, so we got a lot here. If you
You
want some
too.
food, you can go somewhere and get some food in Cleveland.
Okay. Um, Cleveland still has the best food to me. I've lived in Los Angeles for over 20 years.
You still miss that
Cleveland's
Roman
food
burger,
is
huh?
Cleveland's food is still better.
You still miss the Roman burger?
I do. I still miss the Roman burger, the Polish boys, and I mean, I don't know, the corned beef sandwiches. The
Oh yeah.
Chinese food even.
Oh yeah. And it's gotten more elevated, like corned beef. We Slimans, which is a Cleveland staple. They decided to open other restaurants. So you don't just have to go to the deli now.
Right.
And the deli closes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's
Yeah.
like a hit or miss.
Uh-huh.
Now they have different restaurants. Yeah, Mr. Hero still exists. So if you want to get a Roman burger for anybody that lives outside of Cleveland, you can go get a Roman burger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our Polish boys are forever famous.
Yep. Nothing like it. Although, one time there was a food truck here, and it was a Cleveland food truck, and they had Polish boys and corned beef sandwiches on the food truck. Yep.
Did it taste like home?
And, um, I'm trying to think if I even had it. I don't remember if I tried it or not. I just saw it.
Yeah.
I
You'll
can't
never
remember if I actually tried it.
Yeah,
Not.
Cleveland food is just better than everywhere else. I will always hold that to the standard.
I
It
agree.
really is.
I agree. I agree with you on that. Okay.
Yeah, but that's my summer guide of what to do in Cleveland.
That's a great guide. I think you did a great job coming up with this list. Um, so what future plans do you have for like I think you're really good at this kind of stuff, putting this together. What are you gonna do for yourself? Any plans to make this kind of thing permanent or expand your podcast?
Yeah, I actually plan to expand myself this summer. Um, I am working at a library, so yeah, I am actually a fellow librarian, and
Yay!
I'm actually head of a department now at our library. So
Yay! Shout out to the librarian.
my plan is when I'm not working there and not consuming books, I plan to be at concerts and going to restaurants, and I also have plans to start my own to start another podcast with my brother. We both have a strong passion for mental health advocacy.
Hmm.
So we're going to try to start something with mental health advocacy. And then, of course, I have my brain doesn't work like everybody else's. And so I think in jokes all the time.
Uh-huh.
So I have a plan to combine my love for sports and my love for jokes. But you gotta wait
Okay.
and see.
All right. That sounds like an interesting combination. I can't wait to
Oh
see
yeah.
how you put that together.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
That should be awesome. Well, I
Yeah,
can't.
that's
I
pretty.
I'm looking forward to that, Autumn.
Yeah, and I plan on, so a friend of mine here, I'm actually gonna plug her in. She has an organization called the Girls Room, and they do different events around the city for women in Cleveland if you want to just come out. And so I plan on actually trying to work with her this summer for a book-based event.
Okay, I love it. Well, be sure to send me her information as well.
Oh, I will. If you think I'm all Cleveland, she got me beat. She
Okay,
got me beat.
love it. That's fantastic. Okay. All right. Well, tell people how they can find you on social media.
Yes, you can find me at Autumn Chisholm, no spaces, on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook. The Phil and Lil Podcast. We have Twitter, Instagram, um, Twitch, and that's at Phil and Lil Pod. And I also have a Bookstagram, and you can find me at the Litter Hottie. So I have a lot.
Uh, okay. Thanks again for taking the time to speak with me. It's been great talking to you, Autumn. You can stay on for just a second when we stop.
Oh, it's no problem. I love
Okay.
talking about Cleveland, and I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Bye.
Hi, Auntie Erica.